Okay, so standing up nice and tall. Let's spread the toes, plant the feet, lengthen the spine. Let's roll the shoulders up, back and down slowly. Breathe in. Oh, I'm feeling all those press-ups I did yesterday in my shoulders. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out. Arms down, soften the knees. And let's just move slowly through side bend. Keep that moving for me, please. I'm just going to change the angle of this video because I seem to be sloping to one side like I'm at sea. There we go. Oh, here's Anne coming in. Yeah. Can we reach away? And last one. And then gripping the pelvis, softening the knees. Moving through pelvic tilt. Just drawing the belly button towards the backbone. Good. Releasing the hips to the front. Releasing the lumbar spine at the back. And then neutral pelvis, pull up through thighs and sway the weight forward and back. So you can lift your arms to shoulder height, you can come up onto your toes, you can take your arms all the way up overhead if you like, but then focus on maintaining neutral. Focus on maybe holding the balance for a second to improve your balance. Breathing out to lift and into lower. One more time, please. And come on down. Just read it. Morning, Anne.
Morning.
Morning. It was update day. Few people had an update. So let's bring the feet back to hip width. Tail tuck. Fingers to temples, lifting up and out of the waist, coming across to the right corner of the ceiling. So maintain the length through the spine, squeeze the glutes so that your lower back has a little bit of protection and support, and draw your belly button in towards your backbone. And one last time. And relax. Good. Just shake that off for me. Let's come down to the feet and the balance. Right leg in front, we lift. Flex and point. And rotate slowly. Good. Go the other way, circle. Change, forward and lift, flex and point. And circle. And the other way. So mobilizing wrists and ankles, switching on the balance. Shake that off for me. Then let's take the feet slightly wider. Tuck the tail, thumbs in the breastbone, upper spine rotation. Breathe in, breathe out, rotate to the front corner. Coming center, inhaling, exhaling, rotating, hips are forward. Knees are soft. Isolating the upper spine. So feel the rotation coming across the back of the rib cage. Important that we get some mobility in that part of our back. Otherwise our lower back gets very overworked. One more of those. And then making it bigger, pushing forward. So still rotating through thoracic spine, but now opening chest and shoulders and releasing the neck. Good. Breathing out. Breathing out to pull. Breathing into reach. Finishing on the left. And dropping the arms. Good. Hands behind the back. Soften the knees. Hip hinge. So brace the abdominals. Make sure the head's not dropping. So feel the lengthening of the back of the neck. So we don't want the shape of the spine to change here at all. Movement coming through hips. Abs bracing as we drop. Hamstrings stretching. Glutes squeezing to return. So one slow, continuous movement. Try to avoid poking the chin or dropping the head, keeping the chest open. So little squeeze, draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Just one more time here, please. And then coming back up, release the hands into squat with a much smaller hip hinge. Hinge, squat, option to float the arms, and then push up. Neutral pelvis, weight is tracking back into the heels. Breathing into squat and out to come up. Keeping it moving, breathing in. And breathing out. If that feels okay, squat down, hold, and pulse. 3, 2, 1. Push through the thighs. Can you reset the spine and raise the heels? And come on down. Weight transferring slowly into heels. Pushing through thighs. Coming back up onto toes. And then down slowly. We're going to have 2 more rounds. And come on. And lengthen, inhale. Whoops. So our last heel raise. And come down. Just give everything a little bit of a shake there for me and release. Super. Let's come to tightrope feet. Right foot in front of left. Tuck the tail under, soften the knees. Turn the palms up, squeeze the glutes. Rotate the arms, squeeze the shoulders, and come back, inhale. Exhale, squeeze the shoulders. Can you turn your head to the right? Come back to center. Turn your head to the left on the out breath. Your chin is very slightly tucked in, so you've got lengthening at the back of the neck. More here. Ooh, fans blow me everywhere. And last one. And relax. Just shake that off for me. And then pop your left foot in front of your right foot. tuck your tail, palms up, head is still this time, rotate, squeeze, extend through the shoulders, breathe in. Come on down with the elbows and forward. Rotate, extend. Come on down and squeeze. Super, let's stay with this. Just one more here. And then relax, Brill. Shake that off. Let's put right foot in left foot for hip hinge. So smaller distance, not a big distance like we would for a calf stretch. So maybe just toe and heel in line there. Hand behind the back. Make sure you've not lined them up behind each other because you'll wobble. Still hip distance. Tummy in, knees soft. Start to hip hinge as though you are peering over the edge of a cliff there. And you'll feel a much deeper stretch down the front, down the back of the front leg. And then come on up slowly, brace your abs. Now if that's too much load for your back, go back to having your feet side by side. And make sure you're bracing your abs and your knees are not locked, please. So 2 more here. Next one is your last one. Super. Same leg pattern, but take a bigger step back now. Release your hands. We should have a calf stretch now. Let's go into doors. Inhaling up, exhaling down and squeezing. Inhaling up, exhaling down and squeezing. 2 more. And last one. Good. Relax. Shift your weight onto the front leg. Knee lift. Leg extension. So primary goal to open the hips at the front and the back here. Obviously we're getting strength and balance on the standing leg. So think about engaging your abs and really tightening up the leg that you're standing on. So pull up through the quad and the glutes. And this can be as big or as small as you need it to be. You can hold on and balance if you like. You can take your toe down in between if you need to. Next one is your last one. Oh, feeling that right leg. Woo. And relax. Give those legs a shake when you finish, guys. Just release the ankles. I'm going to set it all up on the other side. So toe, heel, and then apart. Hand behind the back. Knees soft, long spine. Hip hinge. Breathing in on the way down with a flat back. Breathing out as we come up. So little squeeze with the shoulders there around the back, just to keep the chest open, not really to take us into extension. We want to be maintaining neutral. And as you're coming forward at the bottom of that hinge, you should be mainly feeling it up the hamstring of your front leg. So please keep that moving slowly. You've got 1 more hip hinge on that side. Once you've come up, bigger step back, release the hands. We're in a calf stretch now. Front knee bend, back leg straight. Inhaling up, exhaling, squeezing to dart. So now we do want extension through the front. Lengthening, pressing the heel down, extending. Feel that stretch in the calf. Make sure your front knee remains over your ankle, not tracking over your toe. One more, inhale. Exhale and press. Let's transfer all the weight forward, tummy in. Knee lift and leg extension. Slowly moving. Breathing into lift. Woo. Breathing out to extend. So please keep that moving. I want you to give me 2 more. And again, it can be as big or as small as you need it to be. Good. When you finish your last one, take your time and just have a little shake off there. And then we're going to work with our weights. So pick your weights up when you're ready. Let's have them touching in front of us. Feet parallel, tuck your tail under. So we're going to do upright row. You can either do single rows of the body, depending on how your back is feeling, how your shoulders are feeling, or you can press them together and lift them both up. So as you get to the top of that, don't let your shoulders shrug. We still want a nice long neck, but we're working into lats and traps. So this bit here, okay, sometimes it gets flabby, so we're going to banish the flab. Up we go. And down. Breathing out to pull. And into lower. 2 more here. And 1 more. Super. Let's separate the weights. Let's hinge into squash. Come on up, 2 bicep curls. Hinge into squash. Breathing in on the way down, out on the way up. And curling. Let's keep this moving slowly. One more time. Good. Come on down. Weights touching. Can we now open the chest and close the chest? And if it feels good to move through the upper back as well, bring in your spine. So flexion and extension of the upper back. If that feels too much, just do shoulders. Stay a bit more vertical through your spine. Guys, next one is your last one. And relax. Shoulder shrug. Brill. Get rid of the weights. So let's have a look at roll down next, please. So stepping back to where you have enough space to walk out into your downward dog after we've done some roll downs. Working through your own safe range. I'm going to go shoulder extension, looking up, breathing in. Arms coming down. Chin nodding, shoulders rounding. I'm just coming down to knee height with my hands, allowing my shoulders to really relax there. Guys, your spine is curved, your tummy is pulled in. Lungs having a little sway. Breathe in. Breathe out, roll up slowly. Good. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Nod round and roll. Coming halfway. Shin height. Swaying the arms, feeling the stretch across the midsection of the back. Pulling the belly button in. And rolling up slowly. Good. Inhale. So nodding, rounding and rolling. Coming down slowly. And now I'm ankle height. Gonna have a little sway here. So some of you might feel like you want to roll up and down again, so please do that if that's the case. Otherwise, bend the knees more, place the palms flat on the floor, and then walk the palms forward until you are in downward dog. And then let's just hold our first downward dog for a little bit longer so we can get a nice stretch through the shoulders, the hamstrings and the calves. I'm having a little foot pedal here. So you might want to roll up from here. Some of you might want to do plank and or press up, so please go there if you feel ready to add strength. Got 2 exercises for flexibility and 2 for strength. Take out of this what you need. Work through your own range. So the important thing is this is making you feel better, not worse. So if you are uncomfortable in any of those positions, if you have back or shoulder pain, please omit the ones that are irritating you. Guys, can you give me one more round of whatever option you've chosen there? And so please take your time. And then once you've finished it, we'll come onto the floor and we will carry on releasing the spine. So once you've finished, please make sure you tip your screen so that I can hopefully still see you on the floor. And then come on down with all your bits and bobs. So I've got my band, my hard, my weight, my ball, my block. You might need a cushion. Once you're down on the floor, then please continue to release your spine. So starting from the pelvis with a cat stretch, and then rolling through from flexion to neutral. Take your spine into extension if it feels good. Now, not all lower backs will like extension, so if it doesn't like it, just focus on the flexion and the neutral. And then think about what's happening with your weight. Distribution of weight should be even through the arms and the knees. The elbows should be soft, not locked. Settle in neutral spine, and then we're going to sit back into shell stretch. So from here, maybe you want to release your wrists or your fingers. Maybe you want to just rest your head on your hands, or you might want to take your hands to your ankles. So just have a couple of breaths where you are. Let everything reset itself. bringing the hands to the side of the knees, supporting the body weight, uncurling slowly. So coming forward for Superman, let's do a variation on Superman. So we're going to do one on each side. Watch me first. I'm going to extend right arm, left leg. I'm going to move diagonally to the corners of the room without my spine moving. Come back to centre and come down and change sides. I'm going to extend forwards and backwards. Diagonal to corners, spine is still. Come back and lower. Guys, when you're ready, please join in. Start on your right arm. Now just breathing steadily with the pattern. So it's what we call a 2-breath move. So I'm taking 2 breaths to get through those 4 moves. Don't worry too much whether it's going in or out, as long as we're breathing, as long as we're not pushing the blood pressure up. If that diagonal movement is causing your spine to change shape, then you've either not switched on your abs and your glutes enough, or you've maybe just gone too far. So although we do want you to move diagonally, don't compromise the back or the pelvis to do it, please. Good. I'd like you to give me 2 or 3 more. So the last one will be on the left arm and the right leg. And then once you've finished, and please keep going if you're still moving, cat stretch or shell stretch or child's pose. Just taking some breaths in your comfy position. Bring your hands to the side of your knees. Support your body weight. Uncurl your spine slowly. Brill, come on down onto your bottom, please. And then let's just come forward a little slump stretch and stretch our back out. So feet nice and wide and just relax forward. So feel the stretch down in the lower back. And then while that's releasing, can you breathe into the upper spine, into the back of the rib cage? So stretching through all of those intercostal muscles. Uncurl your spine. Bring your feet to hip width apart. I'm going to put my chi ball behind me for support. You don't have to. I'm going to move it just a little bit further away from my tailbone. Holding the backs of my legs. Scooping and rolling, landing on my ball. So I'm going to make sure it's in the centre and I can feel my abs working. Otherwise you need to alter it. And then I'm going to extend my arms. Scoop and roll. I'm going to bow and arrow, elbow down, coming forward, reaching up, breathing in, breathing out, coming back into bow and arrow. Guys, I'm just going to alter my camera, please keep going. Super. So slow and controlled, releasing the spine. Activating the lower abdominals, activating the waist. If all of that feels okay, you're happy with it, stay with it. If you're happy to add a weight, you can just stay with singles as we did before. hold back, and you can rotate for up to 4. So that's going to start to add a little bit more strength. Okay, but you might find that some parts of your back don't like a lot of rotation. If it's crunchy, better with singles. Set. And then I'm coming forward, taking my feet wide and stretching them. So take some breaths. And then uncurl the spine. Good. Come on down onto your back. Have your weights either side of you. Have your hog nearby if you've got one. I'm going to replace my ball with a block for my head. You might want to use your ball, or you might want to just be flat on the mat. So knees are coming in first, and I'm circling to mobilise and release the lower spine. And then for a bigger rotation, I'm going to put my feet together on the floor with my knees bent, my arms out at chest height. I'm going to drop my knees to the right and turn the head to the left, and I'm going to breathe in to drop and breathe out to lift. I'm going to keep that moving. Breathing in to drop and out to lift. I'm going to finish with my knees to the left, and then I'm going to bring them back in for a single leg stretch. So coming up with the knees, imprinting the spine. Single leg stretch can be high if the back's not great. It can be closer to the mat if that's not stressing out your hips, if you're maintaining imprint. You can lift your head and shoulders. That may mean you need to support your head. You can add rotation to come into your waist. That can be pulling on the leg to help you get height through your shoulders. Or it can be letting go if you're able to keep your shoulders up without support. 10, breathing out to lengthen away. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on in and down. Brill. Full body stretch. So nice long stretch, shoulders releasing. A big arch will have probably come under your back. That's what we want. And we are stretching the abdominals. So just breathing steadily here. Bring your arms back over, please. And then bend your knees, place your feet flat. So feet hip distance apart. We're going to work the triceps with our weights. So pick the weights up and push them to the ceiling. Pin the shoulders into the mat. Make sure your shoulders are not rounding off the mat. So your arm pattern is a single or a double tricep press. Dumbbell coming to the side of the ear, shoulder not moving. Your feet can be on the floor or they can be in tabletop with an imprinted spine. Once you're happy with your leg position, you can think about adding opposite arm to leg with a toe tap or a single leg stretch. You might be fine doing 2 arms and 1 leg. Make sure if you are doing 2 arms, that's not causing your elbows to wing out to the side because it's too heavy. I want you to get that weight to the side of the ear, the elbow to the ceiling, got that nice 90-degree bend at the elbow. Breathing in to drop and out to press. The back of the rib cage should be down. The abdominals should be drawn towards the backbone. Couple more. And come on in and down, please. Well done. Get rid of your weight. Have your feet the full width of your mat. Arms out, palms facing the ceiling. Can you roll gently from right to left? So focus on your top leg, dropping through the middle. Breathing in to drop and out to lift. Let's finish with 1 to the left. And then come on back to center, please. Super. From here, can you take your chi ball or your hug between your knees or your feet? We're going to do waist next. So if your back's not great, just do it in a tabletop with your hands on your rib cage. If everything is okay, toes can go to the ceiling. So just try 1 or 2 first, rotating right and left. Get some feedback from your spine. How does your lower back feel? Are your abs engaged and your shoulders staying down? If everything is okay, fingertips to the ceiling. Option to sway your arms in the opposite direction to your legs. Take your time, breathing in to drop and out to lift. So rotating through the bottom half of the body and the spine. Guys, you've got 2 or 3 more. You can do this with your feet on the floor if it's starting to irritate your back. Please finish with legs to the left. Then come back to center. Get rid of your hug. And let's have big starfish stretch to the 4 corners. Flex your feet, push your heels away. Open your palms and stretch your fingers. And then let's take some breaths here. Let's draw the arms and the legs back in. And then just give your pelvis a bit of a circle and your knees a hug. And then when you're ready, please come onto the side of your body that faces me. So we're going to do our sideline leg kick. And so for that, you're going to want your smooth side of your hug under your head. And so if you want to do this with your head down, do. If you're happy to do this up on your elbow, then you get a bit more activity into the waist. Tummy pulled in, hand in front, hips stacked. So I'm just on my fingertips, so spider fingers, Bend the bottom leg under. Your top leg should be level with your hip. So already I can feel that's in my thigh and my bum. Tummy pulled in. I'm kicking forward with a flexed foot. Coming back to center. Pointing the toe and moving backwards only a small amount. So the legs should be able to come to about 90 degrees in front of you, sole of your foot to me. As it moves back, probably only wants to go about 45 degrees to the corner of the back room and come to center. Breathing out as it goes forward, keeping it horizontal to the floor, hip height. So what I don't want is for my spine to be moving. So brace the abs and squeeze the glute. Can we pulse this, guys? Can we kick it 1, 2 forward and come center? Then pulse it back for 2 and come center. Now if that's not for you, keep it slow and controlled. Oh, we've lost Anne. I'm going to do one more in either direction. And then I'm going to relax. Top leg over bottom leg. Can you drop onto your hug there and just let everything stretch and sit. So from there, please put your feet and knees together and then draw them halfway in for clown. So I'm going to stack my hips, have my palms together, my toes are down, my knees are up, and then I'm rotating my top leg into clown whilst my bottom leg stays completely still. I'm drawing my belly button in towards my backbone, breathing out to lift and in to lower. Guys, if you want to add that leg extension, push your heel away, flex your foot, then you can go there. So some hips and backs will prefer to keep the toes together. Some of you will be able to push away. Our last one, can we hold with the knee up or the leg up and pulse? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Toes together, knees together and down. Top leg over bottom leg and stretch it forward if it feels okay. So I've just got a slightly bent leg, hamstring stretch, and then round into my glute and my back. From here, heel to bottom if you can, into quadricep stretch. Lengthening my bottom leg away, stacking my hips, and stacking my shoulders. Breathing in, and breathing out. Release. Coming into open door. So now my ball is between my knees. My upper body's been fixed. Now I want it to move. So I'm going to squeeze my ball, have my knees bent at 45 degrees. Just coming into open door when you're ready. Make sure you're squeezing the ball to stabilize the hips. I'm going to hold my stretch for at least one breath. And then close back up slowly. So I'm going to think about what's rotating, neck, shoulders and upper back, and then what's fixating. So the abs need to be engaged, the hips need to stay stacked. I'm going to squeeze hard enough on my ball to feel a connection on the inside of my thighs. continue that, moving slowly, uppers and coming back in, good. Next one is your last one. Welcome back, Anne. We're side lying, so you might want to just do half a set on either side because you missed one side. So you just go at your own pace. So we're coming down the other end of the mat now, or we're rolling over. And then your head can be down on your hug or you can be up on your elbow. Stack your hips, bend your bottom leg underneath you, pull your tummy in. Leg is hip height. From here, fingers in front. Lift and then kick forward slowly. Come back through center and move behind you slowly. So, can we flex the foot as we go forward? Coming through centre, can we point the toe as we go back? Be aware that you don't want your spine to move at all. And be aware that you need to lift the rib. It'll keep dropping down and you'll need to keep lifting it up. I know mine keeps dropping. If you're okay with pulses, add pulses. And to the back. So keep that moving slowly. At your own pace, guys, with or without the pulses. If you need to drop down onto your hug, that's okay. And then come center and relax. Take the leg over the top. Well done. Down you come and just give it a bit of a rub. So coming into clam next. Feet together, knees bent halfway in. My head is on the hug. Hands are together. Toes are up if possible. Taking a breath in, breathing out, rotating into that clam. And down. Now, important that the bottom leg stays still and the toes are elevated. And then you can go into that leg extension with a flexed foot, if that suits you. If your hip doesn't like it or you're prone to cramp when you extend, just stay with the rotation. Think about the spine, nice and straight, tummy pulled in, shoulders stacked, no rotation through the pelvis. Next one is your last one. You are going to hold it out and then you are going to pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on, in and down. Leg goes over the top and then push the foot to me if you can. So it's a nearly straight leg. And then taking the heel to the bottom if you can. Quadriceps stretch, knees together, lengthening out the bottom leg and tucking the tail, holding. Take a breath in and out there. And then relax. So popping the ball between the knees now, drawing them halfway in. Lower half of the body is still. Push the hip forward. Lift the rib away from the mat. Upper body, rolling the head across the hop. Opening the chest, rotating through the shoulders and the upper back. Stay there. Breathing in. And and breathing out and closing up. At our own pace through your own range of movement. If you feel like you need to stay there for a while, then go there and just hold for a few more breaths. Let's think about keeping the hips stacked, really feeling that stretch and squeezing the ball enough to make the inner thigh work hard there. Next one will be your last one. And relaxing, brill. Let's come on over onto our back. So you may want to take your hog now from under your head. I'm going to put my ball back there. Hug your knees in and circle the pelvis. Let's put the left foot on the floor, right ankle on left knee, open hip. Arms out to the side, let's roll slowly. So our lower back's been in the fixed position on those exercises. Now we want it to move as we rock right and left. We also want to keep that knee back to open the hip. Good. Shoulders are down, palms are to the ceiling. Once your right big toe has been left, please come back to center and change legs. Open your hip and roll slowly, turning the head the opposite way. Breathing in to drop and out to lift. So taking your time, once your left big toe has been to the right, you're going to come back to center. So let's put both feet on the floor, finish with a little bit of pelvic floor. Soles of the feet together, let the knees drop. Put your hands on your rib cage so that you're not tempted to lift your ribs. Now, let's just focus on drawing the belly button down and the pelvic floor up, nothing else. So get that sensation and then let it release. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull down on the belly button, pull up on the pelvic floor. So we just want to work those two muscles together. We want to try to avoid the bum muscles taking over. So keep your bum muscle switched off as you pull down on your belly button and up on your pelvic floor. We'll just turn this music down a smidge. And now I want you to add an extra muscle group. So we're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're pulling down on the belly button, up on the pelvic floor. Can you now just press the soles of your feet together? And that should start to switch on the inner thigh. And then release everything, breathe in. Breathe out, belly button, pelvic floor, press the feet and the inner thighs. Start to tilt your pelvis a small amount. Don't lift it, just tilt it. And then release, inhale. Exhale, belly button, pelvic floor, feet, rock the pelvis, imprint the spine. So the glutes might now switch on a bit, that's okay. And release. Let's continue to follow that sequence. So there's a small arch under my back at the moment. I'm in neutral as I switch on my abdominals and my pelvic floor. I then press my feet, imprint my spine, start to get a bit of activity into my glutes. We're going to keep this moving slowly. Making sure you follow the sequence. If you want to, once your pelvis has tilted, you can press your feet a little bit more together and you can hover your bum an inch off the floor. No more than that. Enough to slip your hands under and back out. So less is more with this exercise. If you start to lift too high, you're just going to let your legs and your bum take over. So we want to work the muscles that are weak, not let those stronger muscles take over, otherwise we'll never get strength in the lower abdominals and the pelvic floor. Let's just have a couple more. Always abs and pelvic floor first. Once you've finished your last one, just bring those knees up, put them together, arms out, and then just roll right and left. Let it release. We're going to finish with our leg stretch. So grabbing your band, when you're ready, please, taking it around the sole of your right foot. So coming into a hamstring stretch first. Nice long leg. Knee quite straight if you can manage it. Sliding the bottom leg away. Drawing the top leg in. So just holding the hamstring stretch, flexing and punching the foot if that assists your stretch. So all the time you want constant resistance there, so a little bit of tension. So increase it if you need to. And then either with your foot flexed or just relaxed, soften your knee. Let's see if we can have a full leg circle, clockwise and anti-clockwise. You need to brace your abdominals to do that. So get that connection that we've just had on the abdominals and the pelvic floor so that the pelvis doesn't move, but the leg moves inside the hip socket. Now, if that's just not comfortable, if it's loading you back too much, then just do a leg sway. Just going to do one more here. And then I'm going to come back to centre and change legs. Pulling my elbows down, finding my first point of stretch through the hamstring. Lengthening my bottom leg. And then just maintaining resistance in the leg whilst I flex and point the foot under ankle. And then softening the knee and taking that leg through a hip circle if it wants to go. Making it quite big if it's not uncomfortable, but maintaining pelvic stability. So down on the belly button, up on the pelvic floor to create that stability there, and then leg moving against it. If you'd rather just sway that leg, that is okay. Keep your spine still, shoulders are down. Couple more. and then relax. Super. Okay, so getting rid of your band, coming over onto all fours, please, when you're ready. And then you can add a cat stretch, or you can come into downward dog. So if you're in cat stretch, you're rolling through your spine. If you're in downward dog, you're stretching shoulders and hamstrings and just giving your feet a little pedal. Breathing steadily as we go. And then when you're ready, either coming up through downward dog and rolling slowly up, or bringing yourself up in whichever way feels best for you. So coming to the standing position, stretching up, inhaling, exhaling, coming across to the right corner of the ceiling, inhaling up, exhaling to corner, coming center, lowering the arms. Releasing the shoulders, and then releasing the spine and the hips. Give yourselves a clap. Brilliant. Come on in, folks.